That's right.
But look, y'all, where you coming from? Oxon Hill, Maryland.
Hey, y'all, let us know if y'all can hear us now on YouTube.
Yeah.
Can y'all hear us now on YouTube?
All right, boo.
Okay, somebody said much better. Okay, I just want to make sure. I'm trying to make sure we get YouTube squared away.
Okay. So tonight, guys, we are going to be talking about some things that somebody said once upon a time you could do, a woman could do to take care of her man. Y'all see me? You see my idea? To take care of her man.
Why you gotta look like that?
That's how I feel.
Really?
That's how I feel. We want to take it old school. These are some old school tips. And we just want to have some real conversation. We want to hear from each of you this evening. We want to hear from Tracy coming all the way from San Antonio, Texas. We want to hear from Michelle in Frederick, Maryland, and T in Oxon Hill. And, you know, I just still got to represent for the Caribbean because I just love that. We want to hear from you.
Yes,
Lucretia, thank you. Lucretia said, you look so pretty. Thank you. I appreciate that. So this evening, guys, we're going to get into these tips. And these tips come from an article. An article, a very special article. Welcome, Greenville, South Carolina, and Julia from Raleigh. Julia is also a part of the Art of Overcoming on Facebook for Competent Confidence.
What's up, California?
Yes.
I see Callie in the house. I'm sorry.
I tried.
Somebody said, what about Callie?
I did try to shout out.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Art of Overcoming. Oh, Callie. Okay. What's it like there, James? What's California feeling like right now? Yes. I just, again, have to shout out the Art of Overcoming on Facebook for sisters, for women. We're coming together all over the country. And so if you are a competent, confident woman, but you also have some issues, you might want to look that up. I'll drop a link when this is over. Cindy from Birmingham, welcome this evening. Julia, thank you for those likes, sis. So we're going to talk about this evening these tips, these tips that, pull that article up. Okay. You know, actually, my sister and Pastor Anika Wilson-Brown, shouting her out, she actually put this article on her page, and we looked at that thing, and I said, actually, I didn't look at it because I didn't see it. My husband saw it. He said, have you seen this? This is an article, I think it was from Good Housekeeping.
Yeah, it was.
Back in the day. And it is a 1950, right? It was from May 13th, 1955, y'all. May 13th, 1955. Can you please go to the article?
I will in a second.
I'm trying to, I need to reference the article. Okay, so it is from a May 13th, 1955 date, right? And it's from Good Housekeeping. And it is an article that is referencing and talking to and speaking to and directing and giving advice to wives. And so, you know, I just want to shout out somebody in a second, but I want to put this out here tonight because so many people say, like, we just need to take it back. You know, today women have just gone all the way to the left and all the way to the right, and they're just not coming correct. And, you know, if you don't need anybody, you don't need anything, and you don't need any support, then, you know, what is the place of the man in 2018 when you already got your own? You already got your own house and your own car and your own job and your own skills. It's not like it was in the 50s where many women were stay-at-home moms. But is that really the case? Because what woman is they talking about? Yeah. What woman are they talking about in the first place? Are we talking about Black women? Are we talking about women of color? Are we talking about white women? So I want us to kind of get into this thing this evening, because when I looked at the article that my husband put before me, I got real irritated at some of these tips. Y'all are not going to believe some of these tips.
Why you get irritated, man?
Well, y'all going to find out as soon as we start reading some of these things. And I want y'all to vote on each and every one. There are 9 tips, right? Yeah. For women. We will also drop the link to the article so you can find it for yourself and maybe use it as a point of conversation in some of the groups that you may be a part of, or even in your own relationship or with other women. But when I start reading these things off, well,
we're going there already.
Oh, yes. Do you hear me? I mean, that thing right there, your neck gonna go like that a little bit. And so I just want to hear from you all this evening. I want to hear from the women and the men in terms of what you think is valuable and what is worthwhile and what you think ain't. Because there will be some things that may be relevant according to some people and some that are not. But I want to pause for a minute before we get started. Yeah. I want to shout out Marnell Small.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I do.
Yeah.
Because
she straight up represented.
Marnell came on, she saw the post, she said, you know, I'm kind of giving y'all the side eye a little bit. Because, you know, I'm just trying to figure out, like, when are we going to talk about how to take care of the woman? When are we going to talk about what a brother might need to do? How you might need to come correct? She didn't say all of this, right? But she essentially said, like, I feel like that's kind of where the conversation is going a lot of the time. And, you know, I'm not usually one to give the side eye, but I'm kind of feeling some type of way. Still love y'all though. And so I responded back to Marnell and I was like, you know what? If it gave you that kind of reaction, then we have accomplished our mission, because we're very strategic in what we do and how we put things out. And I want folks to be thinking about this paradigm that we're living in, where oftentimes the conversation and all of the pontification about what needs to happen in relationships is directed to women, whether it's from women, from men. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always about what we can do, how we can shift, how we can change. And from my experience, I am often talking about myself. Dang, I'm hot. I'm often talking about myself in terms of how I can change, how I can shift, because that's what I am. I'm an overcomer. So I know in order for me to overcome anything within myself or even on the outside of myself, I got to look within. So I'm often talking about that, but I get worried. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I get worried sometimes. I'm like, yo, what is up with all of this patriarchy in the world? Patriarchy.
All right, so now that I posted a few things,
patriarchy.
I can chime in now, okay?
You know, I just have to look at you like that because you participate in the foolishness, you know, and it's some people who don't know what I'm talking about. What's up, Dave? What's up, Shay? You know, but we're going to get into it tonight. And so before we get into it, though, I just want us to really be real about the paradigm in which we live. I live in a paradigm. I live in the United States of America. Okay. We live in the DMV, and I am an African-American woman, and I grew up in the Black church. And I get a lot of messaging, whether it be on TV, whether it be on the radio, whether it be from my community, about what it means to be a good woman, what it means to show up appropriately, how to support my family, how to do the right thing. Thank God that I have a very powerful rebel mother who has always said to me, wait a minute, you ain't got to do it like that. You can do what you want to do. Just because the rules doesn't mean you have to subscribe to them. Those may be the established rules, but did you establish them? And I'm talking about whether we were talking about kinds of things I'm trying to do in the world, or we were talking about a relationship. Yes, there are ways to be. There are proven practices, but at the end of the day, if it's always about what a woman can do and how she can shift and how she can flow, somewhere, somehow, you have to wonder, what paradigm am I operating in? Who runs the world? Who runs the world? You understand? And so we got to recognize that. And if we don't have those kind of conversations in our relationship, my husband and I talk about that. I call my husband out on the regular. I mean, it's not like I had to call you out a lot, but I do, because sometimes he say stuff and I'm like, patriarchy, don't I? I'm like, sexist. why you even saying that to me right now? That's sexist, because we all are victims. We all are victims in some way of some of the messaging and some of the things that our family or whatever say is good to do. And it's not even representative of what our true voice really would give out to the world. It's just kind of getting with the program. Y'all might not like this tonight. This like when you in church and the minister say, yeah, I'm talking right now. Y'all ain't really feeling me. People on there like, I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, tell me, is that how y'all feel right now? Simone, welcome from New Jersey. Welcome from New Jersey. Shakira, I love what you said. Every story and lifestyle and relationship is different. It really is. That is really true. And that's why at the end of the day, there'll be some people will be like, but I like it like that, though. Some of these tips we're about to get y'all like, but I like that. It may sound oppressive to you, but it gives me life. Some people gonna say that. Yeah, and that's okay. But we got to understand the paradigm.
So now that I've allowed you to, I'm going to use that word intentionally.
Sexism at its finest.
Allowed you to bloviate.
Patriarchy.
I'm going to use that word intentionally.
You've allowed me.
Yeah, I've allowed you.
You allowed me to come into the space.
So no, I'm just playing. But now let me lift this up, y'all. You know, what my wife is saying is absolutely correct. Before I give my spiel and then we jump into this article, what I do want to say is that you have been bumping your gun. What I want to say is that, you know, my wife and I, my name is Ayize, for those who don't know. This is my wife, Aiyana. We're both licensed therapists. But I always like to put this qualifier out here. We are licensed therapists, but this right here ain't therapy. If you're looking for some type of therapy, either contact your local mental health professional, or if you want some coaching services from us, you can hit us up. We'll drop a link also in the thread here. And so with that being said, what I do want to say is that probably about...
I'm sorry. if you are watching this, we would love it if you would share. You always say that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, please share. Please share. This topic right here is going to be really good, y'all. Please share, and we definitely can benefit not just from, our feedback, but we all benefit the more people share. So,
yeah, and drop your comments because I want to hear your wisdom.
Yeah, okay? Yeah, like this comment that Lucretia right here, she said back then men didn't watch as much porn, and so she jumping right in there with that thing. So let me go ahead and say this, y'all. When it comes to this particular topic, about 3 or 4 years ago, I did a video which engendered some criticism from a number of men, some applause from a number of women. And the title of the video was "Women Today Ain't Like Women of Yesterday." And so, when a lot of people initially clicked on the video, the assumption was that, women, y'all need to get y'all act together. Y'all need to get yourselves straight. Y'all need to tighten it up. Y'all need to handle y'all business, et cetera, et cetera. But the message in the video was specifically around the point that how can you really say women today aren't like women of yesterday when a lot of times men of yesterday were being dismissive, condescending, not really engaging the women to see what it is that they really felt. And so for you to say that the women today are different, how do you know that the women of yesterday didn't feel the same thing? Because we weren't necessarily considering their vantage point and their point of view, their perspective. And so we need to make room for women because women have so much to offer. And women have so much to create. Women are actually...
I make my own room.
Yeah, you make your own room. And so again, I think that it's important that we lift this up because, the woman's voice definitely needs to be heard. It should be heard. And, I don't want any fellas out here to get into a position where they think that, they dominate and they rule. Now, I will be honest, when I read some of these points in this article, I smiled. I smiled. And I smiled because, again, the whole article is essentially about catering to me. And I understand that it's a disservice to women to assume that position.
Well, you get ahead of it.
As my wife just mentioned, there are some jewels and some tips that can be extracted from some of the stuff.
I didn't say that.
Well, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. We're going to speak.
I'm not saying it's not on. We just take it one step at a time. Y'all ready? Get your pens out. Get your pens, get your paper, because whatever resonates with you, there will be something that irritates and agitates you. There will be something that, kind of attracts you, whatever it is. Make sure you write it down, whatever the feeling is, so that you can go back to it throughout the week, in the coming week, and kind of marinate and meditate on it. So here we are. We're here at this article. It is called The Good Wife's Guide. You can actually probably Google it. It's from Housekeeping Monthly. It was published May 13th, 1955. Okay. All right. Hold on. Woo! Simone, you are telling the truth. Hold up. Simone said, I'm focusing on y'all words. And the 2 dogs on the couch next to you is funny looking. I did not see those dogs.
In the back,
those are our son's doggies. Okay, so I just noticed that. Thanks for the dog shout out, Simone. Okay, so here's number 1, and I'm going to read this. Let me pull my little broke mic up so y'all can y'all hear me? Here we go. Number 1, have dinner ready. Have dinner ready. Plan ahead, even the night before, to have a delicious meal ready on time for his return. This is a way of letting him know that you have been thinking about him and are concerned about his needs. Most men are hungry when they get home, and the prospect of a good meal is part of the warm welcome needed. Yes. Again, have dinner ready. What y'all think about that? Oh my. You need to have it on the table. Okay?
Yes.
That's number 1. That's your first tip. That's your first tip. Any thoughts that you have about that? Okay, well, look, Nadia said, look, dinner is cooked for the week. Does that count? Nadia, you one of them prepping wives. You done prepped on Saturday and Sunday. Lord, I'm not that organized.
Queen P said, check. I do that already. Let's go ahead and check that off. I do that already.
So, Lucretia, I want to know, does that trigger you? Does that trigger you at all? Or when you hear have dinner ready? Because there are plenty of people who think that, you know what? Women, that's what you need to do. That's what y'all need to do. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. What I will say is this: every relationship is different, like my sister said earlier. And so at some point, in some way, right, there's going to be relationships where the man is the cooker, and the woman, if she cooked the food, like, it's going to be nasty 99% of the time. So at the end of the day, you cannot be bound by that. Sometimes people really think like, no, that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you need to do. I've heard men say that when they sat before us in counseling, and there is no supposed to. At the end of the day, it's really about what's going to work for the both of you. Okay. Let's move on, because that's just getting started. Okay.
I see your question.
Somebody said not after my 12-hour shift. Let me add to that. Wait a minute. Let me go ahead and see what you said. Not after my 12-hour shift. I'm hungry after working 12 hours. I expect the same. I feel you. It's about partnership. It's about partnership. Okay. Number 2, prepare yourself. Hold up. Y'all listening? This is number 2.
Hey, fellas, go ahead and share this video. Ladies, go ahead and share it. This is some good stuff right here.
Yes, please. Okay, prepare yourself. Take 15.
We're supposed to vote on the first one. Now let's
what do you mean vote?
No. We said we were going to do whether or not it's outdated or on point. So what I want y'all to do is to let us know. Point number 1.
Point number 1.
Point number 1 was
have dinner ready.
Have dinner ready. Is it outdated or on point? For the ladies that have dinner ready, outdated or on point. Go ahead and drop a comment. Let us know whether or not it's outdated.
It's outdated.
Or on point. So you say outdated.
I say outdated because at this point in time, it is about, let me say that while I'm the one who prepares 90% of the meals, but it's outdated. All right. Okay. I see you. Y'all say outdated. But what y'all saying over here on Facebook? Our YouTube folks, most people are saying, well, Queen P said on point. She said on point. Okay, so if you have enough energy in your fingers to say why you think that, I would love to hear it. If any of you guys, look, if you want to pop into the video, let's do that tonight on Facebook.
We want to mess that all up.
Shay said, out darn dated. Okay. If you want to pop into the video and tell us what you think about a particular point, try that. Like, you got to raise your hand. We can pop you in. Okay. So you can speak on it. Let's move to number 2. So most people said outdated. I will say that. It's not that we can't cook. It's not that, I like preparing food for my family, but near the day do I feel like I'm obligated. What we are obligated to do is to make sure food is on the table. And that's the thing that I do. Why? Because my mommy did it.
Yeah.
And I do it too. And I enjoy it, right? But not because I'm supposed to. Okay.
So can I lift this up though?
Because we're gonna take every point and make it. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this?
I don't know why you're doing it.
Yeah, I'm like,
I think that you can put that down.
Okay, I'll put it down. But you're gonna take every point and make it like, sorry.
Hey, what's up, Marnell? I think that
Marnell, I shouted you out earlier. Marnell, you got to make sure you go to the beginning of the video because I shouted you out and told everybody about what you said. Yeah, so make sure you look at the whole thing. Go ahead.
What was the first part of that one right there? The reason why I'm asking that is because I think that it's important. So a lot of women, they come to our live streams, and a lot of men too, because people want instruction on how to flow better in their relationship. And so some women are saying that it's on point. Some women are saying that it's outdated. Some men and women are saying, some men are saying that it's on point and outdated. And so what I'll speak from is a man's perspective as it comes to that particular issue. Having dinner ready, it definitely brings a smile to my face. It definitely makes me feel good. When I know that you're cooking in the kitchen, when I know that even if it's not done, but if I know that when I walk through the house and I smell the onions and the garlic and the green peppers, that does something for me.
Why you don't tell me that more often? You don't tell me that.
Well, it does something.
That's another issue for another day. I'm gonna need you to tell me that.
Okay, so
I like making the house smell good, but I like to hear that from you.
You do. So that does something for me. So I want to lift that up because I think that it's important for women to know that, from a man's perspective, to get a good home cooked meal, it definitely, has an impact on his experience.
Lucretia, you can go to blackloveandmarriage.com on Facebook. Just search blackloveandmarriage.com and you can join our live stream there. So number 2, all right, we're voting on every single one. Let's get this thing moving. Aiyana talks too much.
Number 2,
prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. That's number 2. Okay. All right. Take 15 minutes to rest so you'll be refreshed when he arrives. Touch up your makeup. Put a ribbon in your hair. And be fresh looking. He has just been with a lot of work-weary people. And I'll add to that. He don't need to see you looking weary with no scarf on your head and looking all tired and stuff. He's been with a bunch of work-weary people. So you need to freshen yourself up, put your makeup on, and get fresh. That's number 2. I want to know what y'all think about that. Yes, Marnell, girl, bye. Who got time for that foolishness? Who got time? But tell me, because I know some of y'all are like, no. There we go. Shakira said true. We get comfortable. We get comfortable.
Okay, Shakira.
Hold up. So I want to know, again, you're supposed to be dropping that comment. Look, child, bad. Ronisha said bad, number 2. She ain't feeling that. Is it outdated or is it on point? Outdated, on point. Number 2, we're talking about prepare yourself. Look, first of all, again.
Makisha said on point. If you are home,
do it. Well, I have to be honest. I have been in the house. And, you ever had them days where y'all, in the house, when you in the house and you go like this. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, woo, okay. I've been in my pajamas all day, right? The question, Jay, or the issue is prepare yourself. It's saying, this is from the Good Wife's Guide for those of you all who are just joining us from Housekeeping Monthly, May 13th, 1955. It's giving tips for women in terms of how they can take care of their husbands. And they're saying, put your makeup on, freshen yourself up before he comes in the house. And I've had to, I go and I real quick, pull myself together. That's the minority of the time. It's because I'm like, well, you really do need to get it together. Like I would be offending anyone right now. Right. Like, I do not make, that's not a practice. It's not, it's not. Because when you come in a lot of time, what I be having on my night clothes.
Your onesie.
I have on my onesie, my hair be all over my head, and you love me anyway, don't you, baby? Don't you? Yeah, I know you do. So, at the end of the day, I'm on that one. I'm gonna go ahead and say.
That on point or outdated, y'all?
I'm gonna go ahead and say. On point.
On point.
I'm gonna say on point, but
Carol said you should prepare yourself regardless.
Yeah, I'm gonna say on point, but I'm gonna give a caveat for that. That's not no woman thing.
Okay.
I don't want to come in and you, I'm coming to you. I don't want to smell you from across the room. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see crust in your eyes. And you know what I'm saying? And and then how sometimes you be working out to my, hey boo, come here. I be like, back up off me, dude. Go get a shower. Right? So it's not a woman thing, okay? It's a woman and a man thing. That's how you keep it fresh. That's how you make sure that you don't get comfortable, as somebody already said.
I like your sweat though.
I know you nasty like that. I don't. You like a lot of nasty stuff. I don't. You give. That's a whole. Next time we can talk about sex, then we're gonna talk about how nasty he get. But anyway, that's number 2. So number 3, y'all, we moving on. Again, share this video if this is interesting to you. You think it can benefit somebody else? Because really, at the end of the day, what we know from having done this work for a long time is that there are lots of things that are proven and that are tried and true in terms of sustaining a relationship. And there are nuggets in some of this stuff that we share with y'all. But when it exists in the paradigm of patriarchy and sexism and all the focus being on women needing to shift and change and move and adjust, then there's a problem with that. And so what people often do, what women often do, is go all the way to the left or to the right and say, you know what, I reject all of it. And what I challenge you to do is to be able to lean into what works for you, right? And to what actually would benefit you and your relationship, but do not reject it all outright. And at the same time, absolutely say, wait a minute, I'm not buying into that bullshizzle, right? There's some parts of this that's just not right. It goes both ways, like Simone says.
That's true.
Here's number 3. Number 3, y'all. Again, you are telling us whether or not this is outdated or on point. Number 3. This is how I would say it. I'm reading it exactly as it says it. Be a little gay, a little happy. Be a little gay and a little more interesting for him. His boring day may need a lift, and one of your duties is to provide it. His boring day may need a lift, and one of your duties is to provide it. What say you? What say you, my sisters? At the end of the day, you are on some level needing to understand that you need to entertain him. Be interesting. Be interesting.
Hey, I'm seeing a lot of comments from the ladies, but fellas, where y'all at? Where y'all at on some of these points?
They quiet. They like, my wife won't see my comment. I ain't getting in trouble. Not tonight. I'm still trying to get some tonight. Okay. Nadia says, put that lingerie on point. Wow, y'all are surprising me. Y'all on point. Somebody said, okay, Lucretia, you said this is the least offensive so far. Okay, because look, you say at the end of the day, it's a lot. It's cute though. I do, Delisha. You're right. I'm about to say your name. Oh Lord. Okay.
Is that on point or outdated, y'all? So it's looking like most people are saying that one right there is on point. Which y'all say, YouTube? Y'all say it's on point? Queen P said most people say,
okay.
Most women who think it's outdated, they think it's outdated because they don't want to do it.
Oh, wow. And here's the thing. To be interesting for someone is really not about, in the context of this May 13th, 1955, this article kind of traumatized me a little bit. I'm going to remember this. I remember the date and everything to dad. But in the context of that, that's coming from a different vantage point. But at the end of the day, there I go. I said it again. It's not about being interesting like you need to perform. See, a lot of times we go to this place of, I'm, having to do all this stuff for him. It's not about performance. It's really about engagement. How many of us come home, right, and we go off and do our thing? Again, it's a two-way street, but we do need to, offer up our thoughts, our feelings, right? Yeah. Share more than, how was your day? It's good. Or same old, right? Like, go more in, lean into it more, so that you can actually connect in on a deeper level. So being interesting means that your life should be interesting. And if you don't think your life is interesting, your mind and your thoughts are interesting to begin with, right? First of all, you need to do some work on yourself because you are interesting, right? And because you are multi-layered, and we have to share that with each other. A lot of times we don't want to share nothing. I was counseling somebody a couple weeks ago, and she said, I don't really, her partner says to her all the time, like, you don't talk enough. Like, you don't share your opinions. And she says, I don't really have much to contribute. I don't really have much to contribute. That's a problem. You do have something to contribute. Okay. So that right there is something that we really need to kind of take in terms of how we can show up for our partner and be a little gay, right? And more interesting for him. So Lucretia says, explaining the article takes some of the sting off of it. Yeah, it takes some of the sting off of it. So I'm glad I did that for you. I still got a little sting.
You still got a little sting. But, so I'm noticing I'm noticing a couple of comments on YouTube here that I see a brother chimed in, Prince ZZ Faye said on point. But, somebody said, Purple Guy, he said, all of it sounds like advice to be realistically considered, especially if the woman works from home. So I think that's something to take into consideration, y'all.
No.
No, it really is. I mean, based off of the context of this article right here, what were Black women doing during this time?
Well, this is talking about a woman. This a picture. Can y'all see this picture? They ain't gonna probably see this picture. Let me see. Look at this white lady. Hold up. Look at what she's looking like.
They can't see it.
Yeah, they can. You see her? This is the article we're looking at. What she got? She got her apron on, right? And she got her food.
And she white.
She's like, hi, honey. Can y'all see that? YouTube. So this is based on somebody who's at home. But I see that's another misnomer. As if being at home with kids ain't work. You know what? I can't do that. I give so much respect to women who have the desire to want to be at home full time. The teacher said that's some BS. You know what I'm saying? June Cleaver, Julia, that's right. But I'm not built for that. I need a different kind of engagement. I need a different kind of stimulation. Children are very engaging and very stimulating and can challenge you in all kinds of ways. But I need a different kind. And so I'm not the stay-at-home type. So to me, to say, like, if you're at home, I don't know, Purple Guy, 94, or 494, you say if you're at home, but I'm like, being at home it's hard as hell.
It is, but I think that, again, we put this article in its appropriate context. During that time period, a lot of times Black women, or even women in general, were influenced by what they witnessed in the media. So you had TV shows out like Father Knows Best. I think Ozzie and Harriet. You had these types of shows that were out. The Cleavers that really informed people on what it was to be a good wife, to make sure you had your pumps on. And I've spoken with some women who have indicated to me that, you made sure you put your pumps on before your husband got home. You made sure that you wore the apron.
Talk about that, because you called my mother.
Yeah, I called your mom. You called your mom. My mom. And
he was taking this joke seriously.
Yeah, I was taking it seriously. I really wanted to know what the experience was.
I was on the phone with Ayize earlier today. He said, babe, hold on, this your mother calling me back. I'm going to call you back. I was like, what? I talked to him after that. He said, yeah, I had to call your mom, and I called my mother. I wanted to see what they thought about the article. I want to pause because I see Anika and John on. Anika Wilson Brown, my sister, my pastor, and John Brown. And they are a beautiful married couple. And so we got this article from you, sis, posting this on your Facebook page. So we just want to give you thanks because, man, when I tell you, when we saw it, I didn't see it. Ayize saw it. I was like, all kind of hairs was standing up on the back of my neck. But anyway, so you said.
So I was just saying that, you know, depending upon what the experience was.
From my parents.
I mean, I found out a couple of things. I mean, when it came to Black women specifically, this article right here is referencing the housewife experience, and it's showing a picture of a white woman. But my mom and a couple of other women that I spoke with as well, they referenced the fact that the reality is that they did make it a point to make sure that the man was taken care of. Patriarchy was.
Did my mom say that? What did my mother say?
No, your mom said that her mom made it a point to make sure that she did certain things. And you know, it was something that was to be expected. And as she became an adult, there was some criticism that may have been leveled at her based off of the fact that she wasn't doing some of the same things that she did.
Because I'm gonna tell y'all, I know I'm gonna get my mother real quick.
Well, hold on. Before you say that, so the whole thing about wearing pumps, the whole thing about putting the apron on, having the food cooked, I mean, that stuff right there is real, y'all. But again, what I want to lift up is the fact that Black women who were not housewives, Black women were out there. You know,
most Black women, you needed two people to bring in the income.
Exactly.
Nobody sitting at home like that.
And so there was still an expectation, though. There was still an expectation
you to do
from
all
the man
that
for you
while you go out and cook.
Yes, you can be a domestic. You can be a domestic worker, but at the same time, to the expectation that you take care of me when you get home. And so that's unfair. That's unfair. But that's the paradigm that was set up, and patriarchy is responsible for that. And so I'm happy that a lot of sisters, my mom, she mentioned these whole midday coffee meetings that might take place where women
midday coffee meetings.
Yeah, like coffee powwows with sisters. When your mom spoke about the same thing, where sisters would get together and have conversations, and this was an opportunity for them to discuss, but also to gossip about things that was going on.
That's for the housewives.
But yeah, for the housewives, but there were other women who got together as well and shared some of their thoughts and their sentiments about their experience. And so what I'm saying is that the big point that I want to lift up is that, like I mentioned early on in this video, just because women didn't necessarily verbalize their feelings and express them to you, man, to you fellas, just because they didn't verbalize it and express them to you. Now, a lot of women did. It does not mean that the feelings were not present. And so I want you to really internalize that, because even today, sometimes women aren't necessarily verbalizing and expressing what it is that they feel, but it doesn't negate the fact that the feelings are still there. And so they can be disgruntled, they can be upset, they can be pissed off, because they have their own beliefs, their ideas, and you know, self-efficacy is important. And so we need to make sure that we're honoring our women, because they have a voice. We want to make sure that we're you know, making room, because they definitely have a right to be in this space, to be at the table and to speak their piece. Not that we need to give them permission, but again, they stand in their own right.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. I'm like, yeah, I got the damn table. You ain't got to invite me to the table. I'm coming to the damn table first.
So that could be problematic too. But we'll talk about that as we go through the article.
Y'all pray for me. I'm like, I'll invite your ass to the meeting. Shit. Anyway, okay. Hold on. Let me see. Shakira said, I think being home, it does make it easier to take care of home. This is asking women to do that and work like your husband. It seems unfair. I do it every day, but it's unfair. Okay, Shakira. Oh, okay. Thank you for that feedback. That's deep right there. So let's move on. We did number 1, have dinner ready. Number 2, prepare yourself. Number 3, be a little gay and a little more interesting for him. And here's number 4. Again, share this video, please. Tag somebody. Go ahead and share it on your page. Clear away the clutter. I'm gonna give you the little stuff, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm already failed. I failed as a wife. If it's clear away the clutter, I have failed. You understand? God blessed me with a man who's like, it makes him start to get a little, you know, special if it's too much clutter and too much mess. I don't care. I will step over it. I will push it to the side, move it out the way, you know, put it on the floor so I can keep on typing and doing what I need to do. You understand? So God bless me with somebody who, like, he handles a lot of that. That's not a traditional gender role, is it? Right? And I have to be honest, in a lot of ways, a lot of times I feel some type of way. I felt some type of way. And I still can have those feelings where I'm like, oh, I need to do better in this. I need to, you know what I'm saying? Like, pick it up with this, because his mama is like him. Ain't she? She keep things together. You come up over here. If she coming over here, y'all, you know what I do? I'm like running around like, oh, let me pick up the stuff, whatever. Only but so much. But because I don't value that. I just don't value it. I don't value it. And it just wasn't like, it wasn't drilled into me as a young person. My mother was out there hustling, getting her game on, getting degrees, doing this, whatever. She wasn't tripping off that. And so I don't value it in the same way.
You said that as though my mother wasn't.
As though your mother wasn't what?
Oh, yeah, hustling.
She was hustling. Okay.
Yeah, so you want to make sure that you...
Well...
I'm not
saying... Come on, man. No, I'm not saying... Am I saying that, y'all? Did it come across that way?
Yeah,
I'm not trying to say it that way. I'm saying that my mother did not... Because my mother's mother was a homemaker and was a stay-at-home wife and was doing all that. My mother very much rejected that. And so she went all the way to the left and was like, I'm out here getting my education on. I'm changing the world. I'm healing people. I'm in my ministry. I'm doing mental health. Like she was that person. And so, and in many ways, I'm like her. At the same time, very likely because she went so far to the left, there's some things that I really like and I really appreciate and value about what I know about my husband and his family, his mother, some of the things that they do.
So we can qualify this.
It's about balance.
Yeah, your mom, she will work 8 to 9, 8 to 10 at night. My mom, she will work 9 to 5. And so your mom will work 8 to 10. And some of those ancillary things that we're speaking about, she might not necessarily, it wasn't at the top of the list in terms of priorities. Like she shared with me the whole dusting thing. And,
oh, hell no. And her mother would come to the house and be like, what is this dust on your, what's going on here on your, and she'd be like, what? Like, I'm trying to go back to school. What are you talking about?
And so my mom, she would work 9 to 5.
And she'd be dusting like a mother.
She would come home and do that type of stuff and be stressed and be mad and upset about that experience and that type of thing. So it's for each family, it's a different experience. So we want to make sure that we lift that up as well.
But I want to say, for each woman who's listening this evening, you get to say what matters to you. I enjoy cooking for my family. I love it. I like, as my husband said earlier, making the good smells come through my home. It reminds me of when I grew up. You know what I'm saying? When I grew up, I felt good about that. You know what I'm saying? And it made me feel good and warm and fuzzy. I like doing that. I like taking the plate to my husband. I enjoy that. I do not like you like that too?
I do.
And that's I embrace that. But I don't dust. I really hold up. And not only do I not dust, y'all gonna trip off this one. You know what else I don't do? I really don't put the dishes in the dishwasher that much.
You really don't.
Do I? No. And guess what? I'm damn self-righteous about that. I'm like, I cook all the food up in this joint. I got 5 kids and a husband. Somebody put the dishes in the dishwasher. And then my oldest son, every now and then, he'd be like, Mom, you don't ever put the dishes in the dishwasher. I'd be like, you that's how you tell them the truth. Them joints will sit right in the sink. I don't get irritated by them being in the sink. I'm like, somebody better get to them because I've already cooked. I'm done. You understand? So you got to know what works for you and feel okay defining and developing your own sense of being attentive to your boo and your husband and your household, right? And at the same time, knowing that whatever place you land in, it's okay. It's really okay as long as you're in communication with your spouse. All right, we done talked about this a long time.
So clear the clutter, on point, outdated. Clear the
Wait a minute,
clutter.
What clear away
the clutter is on point or outdated. That's the one that we was on.
Oh yeah, but hold up, I didn't read the little commentary. It said clear away the clutter. Make one last trip through the main part of the house. Okay, the main part of the house. Okay, you hear that? Oh, you don't have to get the other parts. Just the main part of the house. Before your husband arrives, run a dust cloth over the tables. Okay, what do you think? Is that outdated or on point? Run a dust cloth over the tables. Oh man!
On point. I see.
T, you said that's on point. T, tell me why that's on point. I'm not running no dust cloth, man. I'm not doing it. And at the same time, can I be transparent? I'm not running a dust cloth. And at the same time, I'm like, if I'm having
Queen P said on point.
Folks over, or if somebody's talking about this, I'm a little quiet because I'm wondering if you're judging me because I'm not running a dust cloth. I'm wondering if you're judging me about that. You know what I'm saying? I know, Anika, before he arrives. Like, what the hell? Are you looking at the damn dust?
And the ladies are saying on point.
Wait a minute. Why are y'all saying on point?
Brian over here on YouTube. I like
what
you
said, Brian. Why y'all saying on point about some damn dust?
You said on
Stephanie
point.
Maxwell. You said, oh, wow. Tell me some more about that. wait a minute. Okay, must have a clean house. Never know when someone has to come over. Okay, I mean, yeah. But I'm just going to be that perpetual person just going to run around and pick stuff up at the last minute.
Lucretia said, my house looks like Hurricane Katrina.
Hit it every day. Girl, Lucretia, you're my sister. High five. High five. It is what it is. And y'all know what? It ain't just because I got 5 kids. It's kind of because of me too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
I agree.
He agreed a little bit. Oh yeah. Okay.
I agree.
Let's move on to number 5. Number 5, during the cooler months, listening guys, number 5, share this video. During the cooler months of the year, you should prepare and wait. I'm slaying. Hold up. During the cooler months of the year, you should prepare and light a fire for him to unwind by. What the? Hold up. Your husband.
I like that.
I'm sorry. Let me go ahead and raise my glass. Let me get my microphone. Your husband will feel he has reached a haven of rest and order. And it will give you a lift too.
Yes.
After all, catering to his comfort will provide you with immense personal satisfaction.
Yes.
What y'all say? Charlize said it's outdated. Nadia said outdated. Who the hell lighting you a damn fire? People say I ain't got a fireplace. What you talking about? What? Light a candle when you come in the house. Light a candle.
Light an incense. Light something.
Light an incense when you come in the house.
The atmosphere to be set.
Light a candle. You know what I'm saying?
Light an incense. Put on some Erykah Badu. Let's get the good smells.
Just get your lighter.
Yeah.
And just when he come in the house, just light the light like this. Hi, honey. I just want this to be a serene place for you. I've got the lighter to symbolize serenity. Look, y'all, that's outdated. I think about everybody said that's outdated, but hold up. Some of y'all probably said on point. Queen Ja, you love us. We love you too. So, yeah, I'm having a problem with that one. The fire to unwind by. I think what that's really getting at, right?
Light the fire of love.
Somebody said outdated. We have modern, high-tech HVAC systems. Yes, yes, that's true, right? So at the end of the day, though, what it's talking about is paying attention to your environment.
Brian said light a J.
Lucretia, how you gonna say would a space heater work for this? Y'all are cracking me up. Okay, so it is like the environment, right? Like, how do you prepare the environment? So let me hold on. Give me a second. Shh. Hold on. Let me think. Hold on. Yeah, I'm not feeling that. I can't get with the environment. Like, so
Jay said on point.
Hold on. Yeah, Jay, you probably said on point because you're like, yeah, light me a fire. I want to sit down and just chill. I bet you think that. But I think that the essence of this is really about paying attention to the environment of your home. It's the energy. And so what I would say is this. Look, I'm not lighting no damn fire, okay? I'm not doing all of that. But I do think that we can pay attention to our energy. A lot of times we don't know what our energy is. You are responsible for the energy that you bring. Mm-hmm. That means that, like, sometimes I'm in a bad place. I'm in a bad mood. I'm not feeling no type of way good. And so I will tell my husband, I'm not in a good place. Like, I've had an off day. I'm not good. He already knows where I am. And then at the same time, even though I've informed him of that, mm-hmm. I am trying to kind of, pick my energy up, you know what I'm saying? And really get into a place where I can connect in with him in some way, in some shape, form, or fashion. Not because I want to, but because I should. Mm-hmm. Because when you're in partnership and in relationship with another person, if you get into a place where you start to develop a habit of attending to your needs, and we can all justify our needs. We can all justify that we've had a hard day, that we've gone through a lot, that we are tired. I'm on my period. I'm I'm just all kind of stuff, right? Like all that you can justify all day, but at the end of the day, you have to pay attention to the fact that you have a partner who is also a part of your family dynamic. And they are part of you. And you are responsible to them. He's responsible to me. I'm responsible to him. it just is what it is. I'm married to him. This is my husband. I am his wife. So I'm trying to make sure that I am paying attention to the environment in the way that I impact it. But I'm not lighting no fire.
You ain't lighting no fire?
I'm not lighting no damn fire. I mean, I flip the switch. We got that little electric joint. Is that what it's called?
Okay.
I flip a switch. But I'm not doing all that. All right, we on to number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hey, before you hit number six, let me ask this question. So this article right here,
number 6 is gonna get y'all.
Is about being a good housewife, being a good wife, and it's looking at what it means to be a housewife, what the responsibilities and roles were. My question for you is:
no, it don't even say housewife. It said the good wife's guide.
The good wife's guide. So my question for you is: would you feel? How do you all feel? And we should probably do a whole lot of things about this, but how do you all feel about a house husband?
Oh, that's good.
What are your thoughts about a house husband? Because one comment that Jay mentioned earlier over here on YouTube, he indicated that everybody has, not Jay, but Bryant. He mentioned that everybody has like roles and tasks, and in order for a relationship to work, I think that it's important that you have certain responsibilities that are assigned. Some things may be blended, but I think that it's also good that some things may be very specific to the person who they're assigned to. So when it comes to being a house husband, what are some general thoughts that you all have about that? Somebody said, I don't understand house husband.
What is that? We don't see. So I'm just going to say it. Patriarchy, sexism. Because I'm saying that because people like, what is that? Like people like, what are you even talking about? So why is it that we understand automatically housewife? We don't understand house husband. You understand? Like, I mean, what is up with that? Like, we don't even understand that. A woman stays home. And she does that because perhaps she wants to spend time with her children, attend to her children. Perhaps she has no children.
So a nigga said patriarchy.
But absolutely, it's patriarchy.
A house husband is patriarchy?
No, I'm saying that many people are commenting and saying, what is that, a house husband? First of all, that's not even a term that we are even used to using. What the hell is that, right? Like, people don't even know what that is. You're like saying...
I spoke with your mom earlier. She used that.
She used that because she's a progressive woman, okay? But what I'm saying is that in society, we don't even know what that really means. And that is because we...
Queen Peace, I don't think anything is wrong with that.
Society puts in these qualifiers like to be a good woman, to be a good wife, to be a good mother. Then you'll be a housewife. You stay home with your children. Why is the man not supposed to do that? Why is that not something that the man can equally do?
Anika is saying it's patriarchy. That places. I mean, there's certain expectations on the man too. So
absolutely,
so we have assigned roles of the man and assigned roles.
We gotta cook. We gotta, go out and make some money.
Like we can't.
We gotta clean up the house. We gotta connect with the children. We gotta educate our people. We gotta go and be somebody great. We gotta tend to you. We gotta have sex. We gotta do all this stuff. That is based on a patriarchal society.
So we would have reversed roles. It's still patriarchal.
Yeah, it attends to men. It attends to men. And so what I want to really lift up is that you have the right to reject that. You don't have to buy into that. And I also want to lift up the fact that at the same time, there are nuggets and there are good things. There are special kinds of advice and wisdom in how you can attend to your man. You don't have to outright reject everything. Don't throw away, what they say, the baby with the bathwater, right? Like, don't throw away everything. So you have to be balanced and really figure out what works for you. Nobody has time to be dealing with these rules that don't work for nobody. And at the same time, we cannot reject them so outright that we do not see the wisdom in them, because that is why the divorce rate is so high. Because everybody in this modern day is about self, is about attending to self. And so when we come outside of once we challenge the patriarchy, we challenge all that stuff. Once I got all that straight, I still got to figure out how to be in relationship with you, man, black man, right? I still got to figure out how do I get to another person? You know what I'm saying? How is that all about me? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Like it's a balance. And I think sometimes we get so caught up in trying to be like, I'm not going to be bound by them shackles. You know what I'm saying? That we forget, like, Okay, but like, don't you want to be tended to? You got to tend to somebody else. You got to stretch yourself like he got to stretch himself. So it's a balance. But you have to kind of make sure that you're evaluating. Mm-hmm. Are you balancing? Are you balancing? Are you saying, wait a minute, you know, I don't think that that's an expectation that I should automatically align with, right? But I will do it because it's something that I think will be valuable and helpful for our family. Mm-hmm. Not because it is an automatic expectation that I should just do because patriarchy rules the way. Mm-hmm. That's not what I'm doing, but I'm doing it because it works for my family.
Y'all
and I can't reject. You understand what I'm saying?
We're getting some real good comments over here. Like, when it comes to this whole house husband piece, I'm seeing some comments over here on YouTube talking about, you know, that a man should be able to do that. But I'm also seeing some women saying, like, you know, so men can't live off. If a woman can live off a man, why can't a man live off of a woman?
Absolutely.
Why can't you have a kept man? If you can have a kept woman, why can't you have a kept man?
You can.
But what I'm saying, but there's a lot of criticism when it comes to that, and that's based off.
What's that about? Hold up. So let's go into that.
I need to re-up.
Are you about to get another drink?
Yeah.
It's Thursday. It's Thursday. We're only supposed to have one drink with the live stream. He really like rolled out. Did y'all see him just leave? Okay, so this whole thing about a kept woman and a kept man, again, the whole kept piece is patriarchy. That's patriarchy in and of itself. I'm about to look up patriarchy because I don't know how to give y'all a definition off the top of my head so that some of y'all can really understand, and me for that matter, what the hell we talking about. Because to be kept means that, I guess hold on. Patriarchy. In sociology, patriarchy is a social system in which males hold primary power and predominate in roles of political leadership, moral authority, social privilege, and control of property.
Somebody just said, I just got another drink.
In the domain of boo. I'm trying to get deep. I'm trying to talk about motherfucking, I'm trying to talk about patriarchy, and you talking about another drink. This is the vodka? Y'all see how much that is? That's way too much. I'm gonna start over. Y'all pray for us, all right, and share the video. Okay, in sociology, patriarchy is a social system in which males hold primary power and predominate in roles of political leadership, moral authority, social privilege, and control of property. In the domain of the family, fathers or father figures, they hold authority over women and children. That make me want to get up and slap the shit out of you right now.
Well, you like having.
That makes me mad. That makes me mad.
What makes you so mad, baby?
Did you hear that last line? This is some Wikipedia. I'm just giving this off of Wikipedia. In the domain of the family, fathers or father figures hold authority over women and children. My God, we got to. Hold up. How you gonna say don't drink? Why are you so mad? Hold up. Inez. Hold on. Are you not mad, Inez? Why you not mad? Because I think you're a sister, right? I'm mad at the end of the day. There I go with it, at the end of the day. Because this society that we live in, and everything that we operate under within it, whether conscious or unconscious, is based on trying to attend to a motherfucking male. That's a problem, Inez. So why are you so mad? That's why I'm mad. I'm not trying to go on you, but I'm kind of irritated with your motherfucking question. Okay. He tapping me right now. Like under the table, he like this. I'm just going to be real because in the art of overcoming with Aiyana, we keep it real. So I'm quiet now. You're getting all quiet. You're getting concerned. I'm just saying. Thank you. I'm just saying, like, I mean, that it really makes me upset because
you don't need nothing else to drink.
No, it's not about drinking. Why? Because you feel like I'm going on our people. No, I don't need you to interject. All I'm saying is this. I'm gonna stop cussing. Excuse me, pardon me, Lord, whatever. Right? I know Inez said, really? Shakira said, woosah. Okay, so I received that. I can receive. But what I'm saying to you all is this. At the end of the day, there I go. At the end of the day,
they're saying no more drinks.
Here is the thing, Inez. I'm gonna give him another drink. You know, like sometimes we have to give ourselves permission to be angry, We have to give ourselves permission. Thank you, Lakeisha. 100. I'm keeping it 100. We have to give ourselves permission to be angry, permission, right? To go to this place of saying, how dare you? Why is it that we have to operate in this society? And so what we're challenging everybody to do tonight is to question the paradigm. We're challenging you to question the paradigm, to get angry about the paradigm, and not to stay in a place of anger, but to go to a place of action about moving into some kind of authority about how you're going to live your life and how you're going to be in relationship with your partner. And so if you skip anger, if you skip audacity, then you might not fully move into the place you need to move into. It's all right. It's okay. I give myself permission, and I want you to give yourself permission at the same time. Mm-hmm. So, at, we got to pay attention to how, where's the dang article? We got to pay attention to how some of these things are just really embedded into our society, embedded into our culture, right? We got to. Thank you, Queen Ja. Yes, ma'am, she said.
So, I want to lift this up because I think that it's an important piece. So we have several more pieces to.
I'm drinking. So
we got several more points to make, and again, please share this video. But the thing
it's not several.
We do have several. We got more than two. So the thing that I think is important to lift up, y'all, is that my wife's response and her reaction, and a lot of women's response and reaction, even though, it comes from a space of lifting up, we can stand on our 2 feet. We got a voice. We're strong, we're powerful, et cetera, et cetera. I think that, and my wife, she's looking at me kind of side-eyed.
I'm just trying to figure out what she was about to say.
But, it's the reaction to patriarchy is still influenced by patriarchy.
What you mean?
And so the vitriol that you express towards that point in terms of reading about what the definition of patriarchy is still being influenced by patriarchy itself. So it's like the emotion that you come with and the energy that you come with, and a lot of women, the energy that you come with, you think that it's independent of, and you're standing in isolation, from patriarchy itself, but really it's a reaction too. So really, you're still being influenced by patriarchy.
I'm confused.
So I think that it's important to recognize that, yes, it's important for us to validate. You have value. And not that you need us to say that, but when you're responding and reacting to a premise that's based off of patriarchy, it's still a response to patriarchy. So patriarchy is still pushing you out to say, fuck this. It's still pushing you out to reject this. It's still lifting something up that you need to be in opposition to. So patriarchy is still leading. Mm-hmm. And so what I'm saying is that this article right here is inspiring certain emotions that are challenging you or inspiring you to voice your opposition to it. But again, it's still coming from a space. It's still coming.
Reacting to
patriarchy. So patriarchy is still leading.
So you're saying patriarchy is leading. What I'm asking you is, how is patriarchy leading? Because I'm taking away from what you're saying. This in some way, I'm allowing this system that we operate in to somehow kind of control my response or my reaction. So what I'm saying is that it makes me angry. Mm-hmm. It's 4 words. It makes me angry. Mm-hmm. And I have a right to be angry. So how was patriarchy leading my answer? I'm not even paying. Somebody said Jesus is the answer. Somebody said Jesus is the answer. Oh, Anika said it. The anger is because we feel pressure to operate in this way, no matter how much we rebel from it. And that is the bona fide truth. Mm-hmm. That is exactly what the bona fide truth is. And so when I'm feeling that, when I'm expressing that, people are like, "Ooh, wait a minute, don't do that. Put that back in its box. Don't, be neat. Be neat. Don't do that. That's too much." Mm-hmm. Right? Why are you coming like that? Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, It's okay to be angry. It's okay to say, wait a minute, that doesn't resonate with me. That doesn't serve me. It doesn't help me. It doesn't heal me. Mm-hmm. And to get into this place of like, you getting all angry like that, it's kind of like, hold up, let me help y'all out. Most of the folks, if not everybody, but most of the folks who watch us are Black folks. Let somebody tell you, like, why are you getting so angry? Why are you getting so upset and so angry about the fact that, yeah, I know that Black people. Okay, Joseph, I appreciate your question. Why does it make you angry? But Joseph, I'm gonna come at you with this. Yes, anger causes stress. This is true. But anger is also a healthy emotion that if you skip over and you do not engage it, then you will not fully heal. You cannot isolate out or compartmentalize any emotion and say, I don't want to go there, right? You got to be able to feel all of them so that you can get to all of your healing. Mm-hmm. And so the bottom line is this. Why is it that if you're a Black person, somebody say to you, why can't you, why are you pulling the race card? Why are you, pulling the race card and you getting angry because, of all of the things that you all have had to deal with? Don't you have so many advancements? There's so many Black people who are doing well in the world, who are making six figures, right? You got Barack Obama, right? Why are you getting angry? Why? You automatically, most Black folks are like, wait a minute, you don't get to tell me when I can be angry and when I cannot, how I can express it or how I cannot. I don't, we have to learn how to kind of like bob and weave, because if we do that, and people will tell you, even Black folks will tell you, even me, I will tell some people sometimes, like, that's not going to be effective in terms of you communicating what you need to communicate. You need to pipe that down. So oftentimes we are learning how to bob and weave under white supremacy. Mm-hmm. And so what you're telling me right now, if you're asking me, why are you getting angry, Aiyana? Why are you coming? Oh, you're usually funny and nice and playful, and now you kind of get a little too serious with it. You're telling me like bob and weave under patriarchy. And I don't have to do that. And I'm getting emotional right now because just as my sister Anika said, we rebel against the thing that we feel so much pressure from. And what I'm telling you is that at the end of the day, I don't want to have to deal with that. That thing is hard and heavy. But I get angry about it. And it's okay to get angry about it. It's okay. And so once you can kind of tap into that feeling, then you can let it go as you figure out back, because we went all into white supremacy and everything. My husband just looked at me like, ooh, where are we right now?
Go there.
Where are we? Right? Yes, Anika, anger makes people uncomfortable. Ooh, you're doing a little bit too much, right? Right. But once you do that, once you tap into that in a healthy way, right? Because uncomfortable feelings and angry feelings are healthy. As long as you engage them, feel them, let them pass, and then move into how you're going to move forward and how you're going to move forward for the purposes of this conversation and your relationship. Because we're talking about being a good wife, so-called good wife, right? Then you can move forward in a more effective way. But if you don't get in touch with that, everything else that you do going forward, you're going to have to question that. You have to look at that with a question mark because you don't really know if it's really authentic because you haven't honored all of your feelings. And that's the real deal. Yeah, that's the real deal.
It is. Hey, thanks for the compliment, y'all.
You got a compliment?
Yeah, Queen Ja. Right. I love how y'all work together.
Thank you, Queen Ja. All right, so let's move on to number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Minimize all noise. At the time of his arrival, eliminate all noise of the washer, the dryer, or the vacuum. Encourage the children to be quiet. Now, if y'all ain't got a little angry off of that, I'm going to tell y'all need to go to get some counseling right now because y'all minimizing and denying all your damn feelings.
Hold up. Is that on point or outdated, y'all? Is that on point or outdated? Minimize the noise. Minimize the noise. I enjoy walking into a house that's serene. Now, what I will say is that in speaking to some women who had parents in this generation, they would say that, especially in the Black family, like it wasn't quiet. It wasn't quiet, but they did their damnness to make sure that things were in order.
Brian said, "Is that question from the 20s? Is that from the 20s?"
So I want the fellas to chime in.
Well,
fellas.
Aisha said outdated. Shay said outdated. Okay. I mean, come on.
Yeah, so they're saying, so the sisters are saying it's outdated. But fellas who are on this live stream right here, please speak up and share whether or not you would like to come into a house that's not noisy.
Of course, I would like to come into a house that's not noisy. So this is not measuring whether or not people, want to come into a house that's noisy or not. But in some way, patriarchy lifts the man up to say, he should be able to come into a home that doesn't. I'm a queen. So if you should not be able to come into the house and have all this foolishness, it's too much, then I shouldn't either. And I know that we often say ourselves, because we focus on the woman or the man a lot of times, right? And we say, just because we're focusing on one, it doesn't mean we're, not focusing on the other. We're just talking about one side. That's just not, y'all, come on, that's not real life. That's not real life. That's like something you watching a movie, like, oh, and I want us to get rid of these movie type kind of illusions that have us looking for, vying for, attempting to create energy and to create circumstances that don't serve us and don't serve our sweethearts. They really do not. All it does is create stress. Come on, come in the house is quiet. No vacuum, no washing, no dry. Get out of here with that. Let's move on to the next one. That's just where I'm at with it. Some of y'all is like on point, but most of y'all, most folks are saying outdated. Yeah, especially when you got kids.
Yeah.
I be telling Ayize all the time, like, dude, you got kids. Like, that's just the phase of life we're in right now.
Send them to the basement. Send them to the basement.
All right, so that was number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's number 7, and we got. You said 9. It's more than 9. Anyway, so be happy to see him. Greet him with a warm smile and show sincerity in your desire to please him. Outdated or on point? On point or outdated?
Say that. Read that one more time.
Be happy to see him. Greet him with a warm smile and show sincerity in your desire to please him. So, I always greet you with a warm smile. I'm like, hey, I don't know. Hi, baby. I come over. I give him a kiss, right? So I would say that's on point. I don't have any problem with that. It's just about the fact that it's couched in the framework of patriarchy, but it is on point. It is on point. And so what we have to remember is sometimes some folks look at it and say, I don't have to do that, because you're responding to the framework.
Queen P, how long y'all been married?
To that.
Queen P, go ahead and share how long y'all been married. She says that my husband said he wants me to run into his arms when he gets home. Do y'all do that, ladies? I wouldn't mind you doing that, man.
Not always, but I do come over
to my arms. I want you to run and jump on me.
It's like, what is this, Little House on the Prairie? Like, what the fuck? I'm running over to you. But I do say, like, hey, babe.
You actually make demands.
I actually do that more than you do. I pay attention to you.
You say, you forgot to do something. Or you need to come over here and do something. I need something. You need to come give me something.
Oh, I do.
So you make it very clear, like, you need to get in formation and give me this kiss. You need to greet me appropriately.
Yeah. Greet me. My daddy taught me that. He used to irritate me like a mug when I was little. He'd be like, you getting ready to leave, kid? You didn't give me no hug. You came in the house. I didn't know you was here, kid. My middle name is Key. I didn't know you was here. You didn't give me no hug. Okay. And I'd be like, why is my dad always like press for a hug and a kiss? What the hell? You know what I'm saying? It used to irritate the hell out of me. Right? But you know what? I embody that now. I do, because at the whoever told me, I can't even. Who tell me who told me that I say at the end of the day a lot. Whoever told me I say that a lot.
It's in your mind.
Now I'm like, damn, I said it again. I keep saying it, right? But
I like what 36 Soybean said. She said, he said, I encourage the kids to welcome my husband.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's.
You're out in the world, you're doing your thing, and sometimes you just need to be seen. Capital SEEN, as in Nancy. I need to be seen. It's been hard out here. I'm frustrated. I'm whatever, or I'm just tired. And I need to be seen. So being seen is, saying, how are you? How was your day? How are you feeling? What's going on with you? And I think that that's something that we do pretty well.
Oh yeah.
We it's almost kind of like out of habit, but we do it pretty well. And you do want to be seen. So we're going to say that's on point. Here we are going to the next one. Listen to him. Listen to him. You may have a dozen important things to tell him, but the moment of his arrival is not the time.
Nope.
What y'all think about that? You may have a dozen important things to tell him, but the moment of his arrival is not the time. Is that outdated or is that on point? I'm going to tell you that is on point. It's on point because I had to learn that the hard way, because I am a motor mouth and I will talk you to death if you allow me. And so my husband has had to tell me on many occasions, like, I'm not built that way. I need space. I need to decompress. And that is not through talking. That's through silence. That's through me, going off and doing my thing. Once I do that and I come back into the space, like, I'm here for you, boo, but you got to give me some space.
A moment to decompress. I've worked with a number of men, counseled a number of men who have shared with me, like, some of their initial thoughts when they come home is like, can you just shut the fuck up? Really, boo? Really, can you just shut the fuck up? And really,
has that been an initial thought that you have had? You didn't have to answer it for real. No, I already know the answer.
In some situations,
I know.
Yeah. And so that's real talk right there. I mean, everybody needs space to decompress. Now, women decompress differently. They
decompress through talking.
They express. They, get their emotions out. They, want to go into that space where they're expressing their thoughts and feelings and that type of thing. And that's a good thing. But men, we need that solitude. We need that quiet time. We need that moment to engage in reflection, or we need that moment to just engage in nothing, absent-minded playfulness, whatever it may be. But again, we all experience decompression differently. And so you want to make sure that you're not overwhelming him by introducing your stuff into the equation when he comes slam through the door. It's not a good look. It's not a good feel for him.
Oh, I like that. Okay. Wait a minute. Taisha said, so you want someone to engage and entertain you, but you want that done in silence?
Yeah.
But you see, because at one point was be interesting. Remember that? And then you don't
got to talk to engage me.
So help her understand. Taisha, really I hear you, sis. So how you want her to engage and entertain, but you want it done in silence?
Yeah. So I mean, it's really simple. So from a man's perspective, I mean, when he comes into the house, to give him a kiss, to give him a hug, to be cooking. I mean, that's one thing. But you don't necessarily have to, again, dump your stuff on him in terms of what your experience was through the course of the day. He wants to, have some type of interaction for you to acknowledge him, but at the same time, too, for you to overwhelm him can be definitely overbearing. So you want to make sure that you're giving him something, which is connection, but at the same time, too, not necessarily engaging him in or attempting to engage him in conversation right off the bat. Give him a moment, like I said, to decompress.
Okay. All right. Now what number we on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You keep on counting. There's no need to count.
Okay. So number 9, don't greet him with complaints and problems.
And this is the reason right here why we say keep your mouth shut. Because
let me finish it.
Oftentimes there is a complaint. Or another thing that I hear from men, not just shut the fuck up, but what I hear from men as well is that there's always an issue. There's always a problem. So we can discuss and have conversation with you, and it's not necessarily a problem that we're lifting up. But a lot of times what men have expressed to me in my one-on-one sessions is that she always got a goddamn issue. Oh, there's always an issue. There's never a moment where we can just have conversation about what's going on during the course of the day without you lifting up an issue.
I will say, and I hate to say it, I don't want to say it, I don't like to say it, but I will say that in my experience as a therapist, with my husband, all the thumbs ups that are going up? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And even if I just be honest about my own relationship, I mean, women usually have most of the issues.
And I'm married to a therapist, so she's gonna create an issue.
What?
You're gonna find the issue, create an issue. You're gonna find something to pull apart and say that this right here is an issue. Let's dissect it. No, not even necessarily with me. It could be with anything. It could be with the children. It could be with your ride home. It could be with anything. It could be with you.
Mofo.
It could be with you.
You're a therapist too. So you can create it. What do you mean?
I know, but you're a woman there. You're a woman.
Anyway,
so it's a different experience.
What I was trying to say, you about to give me off. I'm about to revert back to defending my womanly post, but whatever that means. but what I was gonna say is that I will say that women are usually complaining the most. We usually have the most issues. We usually have the most complaints and the things that are bothering us. I think men just process differently. I don't think that men have less issues. I think that men do not articulate them, verbalize them, share them in the ways that women do. And sometimes, after kind of seeing couple after couple after couple after couple, I'm like, dang, like we be having a lot. Mm-hmm. And I have a lot. I have a lot. So I do think that is true. But I think the women are just more verbal. I think so. So that doesn't mean that y'all have less.
Not just more verbal, but y'all got long memories. Men got short memories.
This is true.
What I often say is that men are like Jesus Shuttlesworth. So y'all, some of y'all know
Jesus Shuttlesworth?
He Got Game. Ray Allen. Arguably one of the greatest three-point shooters, in NBA history. He said that he would put up shots and be missing shots, but he kept on shooting. And the reason why he kept on shooting is not because he was impacted by the fact that he kept on missing shots. But he had a short memory, and so he knew that there was a possibility that he would make the next one. And so when it comes to the difference between men and women, men, when it comes to issues in a relationship, we'll have a short memory, so we keep it moving.
He got game. Women, that's right. He got game.
Women, they hold on to that thing. They might belabor the point. And again, and not to say this from a condescending space, but men have expressed to me as well, like she's always bitching about something. It's just always there. Whereas men, they recognize the problem, they see the problem, they experience the problem, but they're moving on to a solution. So,
no. You're not necessarily moving on to a solution.
A solution that suits us.
Y'all ain't necessarily solution oriented.
A solution that suits us.
I don't know about that. You're just moving on. I can agree with that. But I don't know if you're moving on to a solution all the time. I don't know about that. Okay, so the next one, guys, and we look, it's 10:37. We gotta get up off this thing. Okay, so make him comfortable. Have him let me get my 1950s. Have him lean back in a comfortable chair or lie him down in the bedroom.
Okay.
Have a cool or warm drink ready for him.
Yes.
What say you, my sisters and my brothers? Okay, again, make him comfortable. What y'all feel about that? Have him lean back in a comfortable chair, lie him down in the bedroom, have a cool or warm drink ready for him. On point. Soybean says on point. Queen Jean said on point. My goodness. Oh, wow. Y'all surprising me out here. On point. Anybody say it's outdated? Come on.
The sisters are saying that it's on point. As Queen P said, can I lay with him?
Okay, if I can lay down too, shoot, then fine. You know what I'm saying? All right.
Make your man comfortable, man.
Make him comfortable.
And so, Marnell, if you're still on this live stream right here, I want to say this to you. This is why we did this particular topic right here, because the sisters, a lot of times the sisters are wanting to know what it is that they need to do to engage in a relationship with their man, or at least to get their man engaged in a relationship. So from one perspective, it's
that's not the whole reason why we did it.
From one perspective, it's like, why are we always talking about what to do to accommodate and cater to men? But on the flip side, there's a lot of sisters out here who need to be validated and need to understand what it is that men like. And so you got these different sides of the coin. So this is a part of the reason why we're lifting this up.
So I'm gonna read the last couple of points all together, okay? And I want y'all to tell me what you think. Okay, somebody said, Michelle Jones said, what if he gets home before you? Oh, wait a minute, Michelle, your comment went away. Lawrence Ferguson, come on now, you know what to do. What if he gets home before you because you are at work? That's a valid question. This is what I'm lifting up.
What if he's not working?
Well, she ain't saying that. That's her question is, what if he gets home before you because you're at work? This is real life, y'all. This is real life. It's not about, I want you all to pay attention to these rules or tips and understand that it's not about subscribing to the letter of these things. It's about capturing the essence of it. And the essence of it is really important for you to make sure that it goes both ways. Because in today's society, man and woman are working more often than not. Man and woman are both out here hustling, trying to get things done. Man and woman are tired. Man and woman are, like, woo, I done had, man, it's rough out here in these streets. Man and woman are dealing with all kinds of things. And so if that's the case, then yes, it has to go both ways. But you have to be attentive to what you can do. If you just focus on, I need it too. If you just focus on that, it doesn't work. Relationships don't work that way.
So there should be certain roles.
So
who takes out the trash? Who cooks the food? Who changed the light bulbs? And
also, just in terms of some of these things that we're lifting up, a lot of folks, including myself, I get in my feelings like, okay, I need that too. I'm a hustler too. You know what I'm saying? I do my thing too, right? Like, but that's not the point, y'all. When I have focused on my husband and I have focused on what has served him the best, what makes him feel good, how I can give to him. Because remember what we always say, relationships are not for you to figure out what you can get. Good, strong, healthy relationships are based on what you can give. When you're focused on what you can give, right, and the lessons that you are getting from that, and your partner is doing the same, then everybody wins. Everybody wins because you're being fulfilled. Your needs are being met because your partner is focused on you. And you're doing the same thing for your partner. That's where everybody wins. Okay. So I'm gonna say these last things. I want to see what y'all got to say about this. Then we about to shut this thing off. It's 10:42. It's 10:42. We got things to do tomorrow. We got to go to bed, and so do y'all. So here it is. These are the last things. Arrange his pillow and offer to take off his shoes. Let me say that again.
Can I get a foot massage too?
Hold up.
I want a foot massage too.
We're not done. Arrange his pillow and offer to take off his shoes. Speak in a low, soothing, and pleasant voice. Don't ask him questions about his actions or question his judgment or integrity. Remember, he is the master of the house.
I want you to sex me with your whispers.
Shut up. And as such, he is the master of the house, and as such, will always exercise his fairness and truthfulness. You have no right to question him.
No right.
A good wife, y'all lean in for this one, always knows her place. Don't on that. Don't on that. Don't on that.
How you gonna try to drop the mic when it got caught in your face?
I tried to drop the mic like this. I tried to drop the mic and it got like caught up, so I couldn't really drop the mic. Thank you for the mad emojis. Thank you for the mad emojis. What is that? Thank you.
Ladies,
what is that?
I'm laughing at my wife. I'm not laughing at what that said. I'm laughing at her.
And I tried to drop the mic and I was like, so y'all, like, for real, what's up with that? What do y'all think about that? Most of you all are saying no, thank you. Somebody, Queen Shaw said,
hold up though. So we got to break this thing down. We go back to the beginning of it. I liked what it said in the beginning. I can actually say that you probably would agree with.
Arrange his pillow and offer to take off his shoes.
No, go one more line.
That's where we are. Okay. That's the beginning.
So go beneath that. Okay.
Speak in a low, soothing, and pleasant voice. What, you want me to say something about that?
Yeah, I mean, I like that. Soothing us. I mean, again, you sexing me with your whispers.
First of all, I'm not always about sexing you.
That turns me on.
Yeah, you're just filling your drink. Okay, so I will say this, that I have had to work on my tone over time. Stop. I am a Leo. I am, here's sexism again. Why do we know the term alpha male? I was going to say I'm not really an alpha female, but you know what I'm saying? I am ambitious. I have a certain way. I have a certain expectations when I'm in relationship with people, right? Like, so I wouldn't call myself an alpha female, but the way that I have shown up in my relationship with my husband a lot of times has not worked because I'm used to being, a supervisor, a manager or whatever. And so I'm kind of directing and coordinating whatever. And he like, I'm not the one. So I'm not, what are you doing? So I've had to adjust. And so one of those ways that I have had to adjust, and it has been very irritating and very agitating to me, is my voice.
Yes.
Can you not stop touching me? Stop, for real. I'm not playing. Stop it.
I love you, baby.
Okay, so that's something I've had to work on. Not because I valued it, but because it's been helpful for him. And at the end of the day, it's not about my agenda. It's not about his agenda. It's about what's going to promote and boost the relationship. And what I have learned and what I have seen over time is that just the modulation and the moderation in my tone has done a whole lot to really help us to be able to have conversations and go to places that, have been really difficult places to go to, difficult conversations to have. So I would say speaking in a low, soothing, and pleasant voice is helpful.
What was the next line?
Don't ask him questions about his actions or question his judgment or integrity. Well, I would say that's outdated and that's some foolishness. I will say that, oftentimes I've asked you and you're like, I say, what's the problem? What's the issue? I'm talking to you. I'm trying to engage you. Like, don't ask me. Don't ask me no questions. Why are you questioning me? And, I think he would like it if I wasn't, asking him questions. But I think the nature of women is that we inquire. We're inquisitive. Yes, the nature of some women is that we're inquisitive. We want to talk. We want to process. We want to know where you are. Talk to me, brother. Where you at? And I've never subscribed to and will never. And I will never subscribe to. What?
You don't deserve my voice. You don't subscribe to that.
I don't understand what you're saying right now.
What I'm saying is that like some men feel like you're not worthy of like me fleshing out my full point of view.
Oh, you feel like that?
No, I'm just saying that some people feel like, what's the point of me trying to explain to you when you're not going to get it anyway? When you're not going to understand.
What are you trying to give me some code right now? I don't understand. Like,
no, I'm just saying. So you say that you never subscribe to that.
To what?
To not holding back and not asking questions.
Yeah.
But a lot of times men feel like, what's the point when you're not going to get me anywhere?
Yeah. Well, what would you say to a brother who said that to you? Put your therapist hat on. What would you say?
I said at the beginning of this live
stream,
I said this not therapy.
I know, but what would you
this not
but what would you say?
This is for informational entertainment purposes.
But it's information educational. What would you say to a brother who said, I'm not going to share what I feel because you're not going to get it anyway. You're going to go left and right and up and down. What would you say to that?
It's your responsibility to make sure.
I'm sorry, I don't think you're speaking loud enough. Say it again.
It's your responsibility to make sure that your point is understood by expressing yourself and sharing what your thoughts and feelings are.
Well, yeah. Oh.
Queen, peace out. Y'all drunk.
I'm just saying. Queen, we just had one. I just had one drink. So yeah, you ain't finished that. So guys, at the end of the day, oh wait a minute, the last line is a good wife always knows her place. A good wife always knows her place. I just wanted, this is a very therapeutic thing. This is very therapeutic. This is very clinical. So, it may miss some of you, but I want you to understand this. My response to a good wife always knows her place is shit. That's some bullshit. No, y'all. I want to challenge any and every person who, in some way, whether you know something better or something differently intellectually, but in some way you feel like there's some place you need to get in. Because let's be real, I like when my husband is protecting me. I like when he's, leading. I like when he's doing that. And so in some way, I'm saying, I'm just going to speak the truth.
Mm-hmm.
In some ways, there is a desire, there is a compelling to kind of like, I want you to, be in charge, boo.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I can, maybe be in my place. No, it's not about being in your place. You can be protected. You can get the covering that you're looking for from your husband. And that does not equate to being in your place.
Mm.
And so if you have subscribed to that kind of theology, because a lot of times that comes from religion, if you have been taught that kind of approach to relationships, I just want to challenge you to say, you create your place in space. I am a woman. I am a woman who caters to my man, who submits to my man. Did you hear what I said? And I am doing the damn thing every day, all day. I am very comfortable with my sense of authority, and then I get uncomfortable with it. I lean into my gift, and then I get scared of it. And I also focus in on how I can attend to him, and then figure out how to create a boundary and say that's his shit that he got to deal with, and I'm not taking responsibility for it. You can, as a woman, tango with all of the contradictions, all of the intricacies of what it means to be a real human being, and resist patriarchy, resist sexism, resist the things that would bind you, and at the same time pull the nuggets and pull the goodness from it. Usually, my good people, things are not black and white. They're not. We often are attracted to things that are black and white. It's either good or it's bad. It's wrong or it's right. It's usually in between. There's variations. There's gray. And we don't like gray because we just want to be able to, land on one side or the other. And that's just not real life. That's not real life. It's not. So I hope that tonight, our focusing on the Good Wife's Guide from Housekeeping Monthly, May 13th, 1955, has empowered you and enabled you to see, as a man, as a woman, how there are some things that you can pull from that you can infiltrate into your relationship, into your psyche, into your way of being now, that you may have forgotten, that you may have never heard before, that you were never introduced to. And you're like, oh, damn. Maybe I should be quiet a little bit more. Maybe I should pay attention to the tone of my voice.
Yeah.
Right. But at the same time, you are feeling comfortable in rejecting the pieces and the places that suppress you and that oppress you in your relationship. We are not about that hashtag sexist patriarchy life.
No, we're not.
We're not. We're about creating a whole new thing that empowers you and that blesses you. At the end of the day, you cannot do any of these things if you do not. What?
Stop playing, y'all.
Woo, yes.
And start pushing.
All right, y'all. We went long tonight. We hope this has been a blessing to you. You all always bless us. Drop your comments.
Please share, y'all. Please share.
How can we share your videos if people are not on Facebook? You can go to YouTube. You can share there as well. Nadia, we appreciate you sharing. Charlene, I see some of your comments there, and I will take note of the scriptures that you've put down there. We love y'all. We thank you for engaging us for this long time tonight. Damn, we went almost like 2 hours almost about this junk. All right, guys. Bye. Go to sleep. Good night. Keep pushing. Peace. Bye.
See y'all next Thursday.
See you next Thursday. Did you get us off of YouTube?